Large armies and atomic bombs have their place on land, but the world's true power lies in these 14 narrow lines. These are called choke points. These are the routes that, if closed, would paralyze the world's economy. One of these routes carries 30% of the world's oil, and one where even a small skirmish could trigger World War III. Today, we will pass through these 14 gates and understand who truly controls the world. We are very happy. Watchers, the power of the entire world lies not in atomic bombs or large armies, but in these 14 narrow sea routes, known as choke points in geopolitical parlance. If any power were to close these gates today, the entire world's economy would collapse by tomorrow morning. Famine would ensue in many countries. Petrol pumps would dry up, and medical supplies would be scarce. Today, we'll explain these 14 gates one by one in simple terms and learn how any one of them could trigger World War III. Our journey begins in the Middle East, where the world's greatest treasure, oil, is hidden. The most important gateway to this treasure is the Strait of Hormuz, also known as the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow sea route between Iran and Oman is so vital that more than 30% of the world's oil passes through it. Every day, millions of barrels of oil leave this route on large ships and reach various countries in America, Europe, and Asia. Consider that this route is only 33 kilometers wide. If Iran deployed its military along this route and declared that no ships would pass through it, the price of gasoline worldwide would skyrocket, as is happening now. That's why the United States and other major powers constantly monitor this route. As we move beyond Hormuz, we encounter another fearsome gate called Bab el-Manda. In Arabic, it means Gate of Tears. This gate lies between Yemen and Djibouti. It's called the Gate of Tears because in ancient times, pirates and dangerous waves would destroy ships here, and it remains just as dangerous today. You may have heard in the news recently that Yemen's Houthis are attacking ships passing through this passage. This passage is crucial because any ship traveling from Asia to Europe must pass through this narrow channel to reach the Red Sea. If this gate were closed, ships would have to travel from Asia to Europe via the African continent, adding weeks of extra time, billions of dollars in fuel costs, and braving the terrifying waves of the South Indian Ocean. And all this cost would ultimately be borne by the public in the form of inflation. After passing through the Babylonian archipelago, ships travel through the Red Sea and head straight for the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal is the world's third most important gate. It is a man-made canal located in Egypt. This canal connects the Red Sea to the Mediterranean Sea. This canal saves ships from having to take a long detour around Africa. The world finally realized the importance of this canal when the Ever Given ran aground here on March 23, 2022. This route was closed for just 6 days, and in those 6 days, the world economy suffered a loss of $54 billion. Goods worth billions of rupees, food, drinks, and essential machinery were stranded in the middle of the ocean. The importance of the Suez Canal can be gauged from the fact that a large part of Egypt's economy depends solely on taxes collected from ships passing through it. It is a gateway that serves as the backbone of trade between West and East. Now we turn to Europe and come to the Strait of Gibraltar. This is the gateway that connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea. This passage between Spain and Morocco is so narrow that standing on one side, you can even see the other continent. Music, throughout history, major wars have always been fought along this route, because whoever controls it controls half of the trade between Europe and Africa. Today, Britain controls this gateway and has established a small military base there. If Gibraltar were to close, the Mediterranean Sea would become a closed lake, and more than half of European countries would lose their maritime connection to the rest of the world. As we travel further into the Mediterranean, we encounter two important gateways to Turkey: the Bosphorus Strait and the Dardini Strait. These two gateways connect the Black Sea to the Mediterranean. All maritime trade for countries like Russia, Ukraine, Romania, and Bulgaria depends on these two gateways. For Russia, these gateways are its red line. Russia has many seas, but they remain frozen for most of the year. The Black Sea is the only place where Russian ships can travel to the rest of the world year-round. Hence, Turkey's geopolitical importance is the most diverse in the entire world. They retain control of these gates under international law, and in the event of war, Turkey decides which warships can pass through them and which cannot. This is why both Russia and America always try to keep Turkey happy, because without them, Black Sea travel is impossible. Now we turn our journey towards Asia. It is perhaps the world's busiest sea route, the Strait of Malacca. This gate lies between Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia, connecting the Indian and Pacific Oceans. All the oil and goods of major economies like China, Japan, and South Korea pass through this route. In fact, approximately 25% of global sea trade depends on this one route. Music for China, this route, is a matter of life and death. China knows that if it ever goes to war with the United States, the U.S. will block the Strait of Malacca with its navy. This will cut off all of China's supply lines and cripple its economy. This fear is known as the Malacca Dilemma in geopolitical parlance. This is why China is investing heavily in the Belt and Road Initiative to keep itself connected to the rest of the world, so that in the event of war, China has a road network option. Near this very gateway lies a small country like Singapore, which understood the importance of this route and today ranks among the world's richest and most developed countries, all because it stands guard over this vital gateway. If the Strait of Malacca is closed for any reason or traffic there is too heavy, ships have to find alternative routes. And here emerge two more important gateways, the Sunda Strait and the Lombok Strait. Both of these gateways pass through the Indonesian islands. The Sunda Strait is a bit dangerous because the waters are very shallow and there are active underwater volcanoes. However, the Lombok Strait is a boon for larger ships that require greater depth. Large oil tankers that cannot pass through Malacca choose the longer route through the Lombok Strait. Indonesia has the potential to become a major maritime power in the future because it possesses alternatives to the world's most important trade routes. Moving a little further on the world map, we reach the Taiwan Strait. This gate is truly between Taiwan and China. It is not just a sea route, but the world's. This is the biggest flashpoint. This means World War III could start at any moment. Taiwan produces more than 70% of the world's microchips, which are used in your mobile phone, car, and computer. All this material passes through Taiwan and goes around the world. China considers Taiwan its territory and claims its rights over this route. However, the U.S. and its allies consider it an international route and frequently pass their warships through it. The U.S. supports Taiwan and can even provide it with weapons to fight against China. Now, China also wants to capture Taiwan because, as seen in satellite images, a chain of islands blocks China's access to the open ocean. From the Philippines to Taiwan and from Taiwan to Japan, small islands lie in between, and the remaining sea route is very shallow, making it impossible for submarines to pass through. If China and America ever go to war, China can't use the Pacific Ocean to send its submarines directly to America. This is why China considers Taiwan its territory, so that the Pacific Ocean appears to be China's direct coastline. Now, if the Taiwanese state ever ceases to exist, this war will not just be between Taiwan and China, but between two superpowers, the United States and China. Now, let's take a long flight to North America and South America, where we encounter the Panama Canal, perhaps the world's greatest feat of engineering. In ancient times, if a ship wanted to travel from New York to San Francisco, it would have to take a long detour around South America, which would take months. Then, humans carved a canal through the land in the middle of the Americas called the Panama Canal. This canal is remarkable because it uses a lock system, which means the ship is lifted above the water. The mountain is crossed and then brought back to sea level. This gate connects the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. The Panama Canal is a major secret of America's power today, as its navy and merchant ships can travel very quickly from one ocean to another. But before the Panama Canal was built, where did ships travel? They used to pass through the Strait of Magellan. This gate is located at the very end of South America, where the land ends and Antarctica begins. This route is extremely dangerous, cold, and and stormy. These days, large commercial ships don't use this route much because of the convenience of the Panama Canal. But if the Panama Canal faces a problem or the water level there decreases, as is happening now due to climate change, the world will be forced to turn again to this ancient and dangerous gateway. Let's now turn to the gateway to Europe that has always been famous in history, the English Channel. This route runs between the UK and France and connects the North Sea to the Atlantic Ocean. It is one of the world's busiest sea routes. Ships must pass through this channel to reach Europe's largest ports, such as the Rotunda. You can understand its importance from the fact that more than 400 commercial ships pass through it every day. Controlling this route is equivalent to controlling Europe's economy. Throughout history, Hitler made many attempts to seize this route, but the British Navy protected it, enabling Britain to win the war. Beyond all these routes, there's one that isn't currently used much, but it's poised to become the world's most important route in the next 20 to 30 years. It's called the Bering Strait. This route lies right between Alaska, USA, and Russia. Currently, it's mostly ice, preventing ships from passing through. However, due to global warming, this ice is rapidly melting. When this ice completely melts, it will become a new, much shorter route that could directly connect Asia to Europe and America. Russia and America are already preparing to strengthen their control over this route. Whoever controls this new route will be the master of global trade in the coming century. Another crucial point that changes the entire map of the world is the Cape of Good Hope. Although it's not technically a strait or a narrow channel, it's a bend just below Africa that has been a hub of global trade for centuries. Whenever there's a problem in the Suez Canal or the Red Sea, as is the case these days due to attacks, ships from all over the world divert their routes and travel through this long route. Vasco da Gama passed through this very Cape of Good Hope when he found a route to India. These 14 choke points are narrow passages that have controlled the world's order in the past and will continue to do so in the future. This is why the United States has established a direct or indirect presence in 10 of these 14 crossings. Now, who controls them? You can guess for yourself. I hope you'll like and share this video as well. Thank you so much for your loving comments. See you in the next great video.